Now a party election broadcast by the UK Independence Party.
Think for a moment what Britain could buy with an extra £40 million a day. How many hospitals? How many new or renewed schools? How many more police? Nurses? Carers for the old and vulnerable? Think of the possible cuts in income and council taxes. £40 million a day is what it costs Britain every day to be a part of the European Union. With the banking crisis and recession accounting for billions of pounds of taxpayers' cash, now, more than ever, we need to be getting value for our money.
We're in the depths of a recession. Our NHS trusts are struggling for money. Our soldiers are poorly equipped in Afghanistan. And yet, because of our three major parties behind me here, we're members of a European Union who now charge us a membership fee of £40 million a day. Yes, that's right, £40 million a day of your money goes straight down the plug hole in Brussels. If you add to that the cost of regulation, you come out with a figure that for every man, woman and child in this country, it's costing over £2,000 a year for us to be part of this European Union. Only UKIP is saying, let's not be part of this European Union, let's stop wasting all of our money, we need it here in this country.
There's no question that the majority of British people want to leave the European Union. A recent survey showed that an overwhelming majority are not interested in the single currency. We are paying out to a bloated organisation that is riddled with corruption, where subsidies and expenses are abused. In 2002, Marta Andreasen was appointed Chief Accountant to the European Commission, responsible for a £100 billion annual budget. It soon became clear to her that the computer system was open to fraud and corruption.
I found the systems to be totally open to abuse. When I raised my concerns and asked for support from the hierarchy to be able to make the changes necessary to strengthen this system, I was treated with contempt. I was first suspended by Neil Kinnock and then dismissed by the whole College of Commissioners because they disagreed with my proposals for reform. I was treated with contempt also by the auditors who have been criticizing the accounts for the last 14 years. I was treated with contempt by the European Parliament, who should be defending the interest of the European taxpayers.
Marta wants to go back to the European Parliament to fight for the British taxpayer. With this aim, she is a UKIP candidate in the forthcoming June the 4th elections.
It's incredible to think, isn't it, that despite all this money we pour away every day to the European Union, that the accounts in Brussels haven't been signed off by the auditors for the last 14 years in a row. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you?
What do we get for our money? Layers of bureaucracy and red tape. Laws and regulations we don't want or need. We pay for a British Parliament that has become increasingly powerless. It represents our people. It should be making our laws. Why pay again? We have lost all faith in the EU. We have lost control of our borders. Criminals can just walk in. We are losing our national identity. This is what we get for £40 million a day.
We should spend it on the NHS trusts that need it, and we should spend it on allowing our children to go to university without leaving hugely in debt.
There are 27 countries in the EU that we pay to support, and the longer we stay in, the more countries will join, and the more we'll pay out. The poorer countries of Europe want to join because they see membership as a fast track to fat subsidies and new infrastructure. 9 Eastern European states recently asked the EU for a further £169 billion to help keep them going.
Stop the waste, stop the fraud. £40 million a day is a price not worth paying. Go out on June the 4th, vote UK Independence Party and send our politicians a message they won't be able to forget.
That was a party election broadcast by the UK Independence Party.